Page 419, Chapter 24. Human Beings of Earth. When you listen to the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the Spirit, the teaching of the life, which is proclaimed to you in the, quote, Goblet of the Truth, as the, quote, teaching of the prophets, then your unknowledge about the effective truth falls, and the truthly knowledge about the creation and its all-embracing laws and recommendations becomes the term of the truth in you, which brings you liberation from all your hardship and from your misery, from all the unpeace, the wars, the disharmony, the hatred, the unfreedom, and from all other terrible things through which you are enslaved. But this only applies to those amongst you who look seriously for the truth in and outside yourselves. By willingly enabling yourselves to do this and objectively analyzing the objectiveness of the real truth. If, however, you are religious, ideological, or philosophical fanatics, or reckless enthusiasts, and are unable to liberate yourselves from this, then, during the course of your life, you will remain far from the truth which is given, on the one hand, in the creational laws and recommendations, whilst, on the other hand, it is formed in such a wise that you can only find it in yourselves by you fathoming it out in yourselves. However, all those of you who are religious, ideological, philosophical fanatics, or reckless enthusiasts, you live far from the truthly truth of the creation given, as a result of which you are damaging to the truth and deceive your fellow human beings to the untruth. You, however, who have fallen prey to the untruth and the unknowledge, you are malicious ones and unobjective ones against the truth. However, you shall find your assessment in the words of the teaching of the truth, the teaching of the Spirit, the teaching of the life itself. The, quote, Goblet of the Truth touches only those amongst you as a message who still bear a spark of truth in yourselves, as well as the longing to know the actual truth of the life and to be a true, real human being. But you others who have committed and bound yourselves to the religion and the belief in a god, in a tin god, demons, human beings, or an ideology or philosophy, and are their captives and slaves, you, as ever in the past, turn away from the, quote, teaching of the prophets, because you are undiscerning and unteachable, and continue to vegetate away in your misery and in your hardship, and want to have sorrow as your companion. You, however, who are searching for the truth of all truth, the, quote, Goblet of the Truth will be a light for you, and a rod upon which you can support yourselves, and you will be brought directly out of your inner chaos and out of your confusion through the teaching, so that you may finally live truthfully. The, quote, Goblet of the Truth does not bring you a new religion based on a god, tin god, demon, on a human being, or devil, but rather the true, quote, teaching of the prophets, is for you a torch in your darkness of the unknowledge and untruth, so that you find the right way in the life, and also take the way of the truth in yourselves, which is itself the truth and the culmination point. And if you take the way of the truth in yourselves, then you enter into the truth itself, which has the way inherent in itself, by means of which you lead yourselves to your longed-for heights. Always consider, human beings of earth, that it is only when you move yourselves that you can come forwards in terms of consciousness. However, if you attempt to help yourselves with external means, then you let external authorities penetrate into you, as a result of which you are no longer yourselves, and you totter forwards, as if on crutches, and no longer know how to use your own limbs. If, however, you move yourselves, and solely in your consciousness, and you do not use ready-made views of external means of help, and you do not make use of such means either, then you are free, and you can have free rein to do rightfully, and to take the way of the truth. Therefore, move yourselves in yourselves, and acquire all the capabilities that you need for the learning and for the living. Listen to the call of the truth in yourselves, and do not await the effort of the fathoming out of the truth to be taken away from you from outside, because if you await it, then you are slumbering senselessly away, and you will not find the requisites in yourselves which you must use for the rise up to the truthly truth. If you, however, use the help that is given to you through the creational laws and recommendations according to your own will, then you will overcome all hindrances which misguidingly want to cross your way, the way that you have to take in yourselves when fathoming out the truth. Human beings of Earth, finally awake out of your lethargy and reach the truthly knowledge of the creational truth through your conscious endeavors. Only if you find the real truth in yourselves and you turn to the laws and recommendations of the creation and also follow them, will you find the way out of your misery, out of your hardship, and out of all your terrible things into the reality of the truthly life. Know that the right knowledge is only given in the real truth, and this becomes the all-embracing term of the wisdom. And consider that alone the knowledge and the actual term about the truth could solve all your problems which have burdened you for thousands of years and threatened to lead you into the ultimate catastrophe. However, be certain that finding the truthly truth of all truth in yourselves means that you must examine, fathom, and recognize everything down to the last detail, ruthless against all untruth and all unknowledge, so that you stand in true vitality in the light of the truth of the all-embracing creation.